What Kenyan women want from their men?
The one thing women like and would want from our men, we want men who have traits of satisfactory intimacy. Hapo ni kwa ulingo wa badminton. We want a man who is good at sex. We want a man who is passionate and compassionate.
Well, I can't argue with what she's saying. I mean, women want what women want. Now, the only thing I will add here is that sex is a two-people affair. And more often than not, it is the women who let down the activity. Let's call it the sexual activity. What do I mean? Many women, I will not say most, but many women don't know how to have sex. What do I mean by don't know how to have sex? For them, sex is just opening up their legs and letting the man mount them, or doing the doggy and letting the man do his thing, not participating in the least. So that is what a woman thinks sex is, or many women, if not most. I do not disagree that women want to be sexually satisfied, but then that also takes her to participate in the activity. If she's just laying there and receiving and receiving and receiving, how is the man supposed to make you? If that's you and it's good for you, good, because that's what works. But if it is not what works for you, but you're just laying there and letting the man mount you and do his thing and then he leaves, then that is on you, right? Also, women do not want to give feedback. I like it when you do it this way. I like it when you do me like this. I like it when you touch me here. I like it when we start like this. This is how I like to be mounted. You know, if you have these crazy things, if that is what gets you off, communicate to your man. Then let him try it. Let him do it. I'm not saying that all men here are professionals. There are learners also out here. Men who are learning. Men who are not good at it. And that's how you know this man is not good at it. And if that's the person who you've married, then too bad for you. Now you have to go through the process of learning together, teaching each other, being patient with one another and all that crap. However, if this is a man who is able to, but you are too, I don't want to say stupid, but let me just use stupid for lack of a better word, too stupid to communicate, right? This is what I want. This is what works for me. This is what I need from you. That's the only thing you need to do. And then let him learn. Teach him. I need you to touch me like this. You know, I know there are those men who have a problem with their lips and their teeth. So no teeth, lips only. And if you are a woman who likes a little bit of pain, you say, hey, nibble on it a little bit. Not too much, just pinch it a little bit. I want to feel that pain. That is what works for me. And also, you know what? At the end of the day, your orgasm is your responsibility. A man comes in, does his thing, orgasms, that's him. He came in, he got his thing, he went. What about you? And the way the human reproduction, the process was set up, is that a woman's orgasm is not important for reproduction, unlike a man's orgasm. That's why men orgasm faster. We need them to orgasm. We need them to ejaculate. But a woman's orgasm is not important. So as a woman, you also need to know, am I a fast person? Am I somebody who takes forever to come? And then, if it's a man, you know, the first round, of course, unless he's been somewhere, or unless you give him time to go to the bathroom and pop one out, and then come for the second one, because that one lasts longer. You be smart about it.
Do you think all women want sex?
Not all. I'm going to talk about the sex, but I need the orgasm.
All. I mean, I hear there are those people who are called asexual. I don't know. I've never met one. But the fact that I've never met one does not mean they don't exist. So yeah, all women don't want sex. But when we're saying all women, we mean that there is this special category of women who either have a problem with their biology or they have a problem with their makeup, that for them, sex is not important. Okay, they don't need it. They don't want it. It's not important for them. And I'm sure there are also men. Like if you take the 7 billion population or whatever billion population we have now, you will not miss that one person. So yeah,
unless you found someone who doesn't want.
I dated somebody, Barbara, who didn't like sex.
That is her.
She didn't like sex.
But they're there. I'm not going to say even there are men who don't like sex.
But then we also have to ask ourselves, why don't they like sex? Probably it's because of a bad experience, a bad past experience. Maybe trauma from assault. Maybe our parents, the way they raised us, is sex is bad. And this person took that to be true. And they believe that. And that's why they don't like sex. And if you are part of these denominations or religions where they say sex is a sin, and if you are a person who really, really, really is into religion, and you don't want to sin against your God, then of course you'll not want to have sex.
I remember I once told you that a colleague of ours usually follows the show. Then that particular day, she asked me, what are you guys talking about? Then I told her, why do you always sneer when it's Friday? She was like, me, I'm just uncomfortable. So it is true.
She don't like sex.
Yeah, she doesn't like sex,
Yeah.
But now for me as Barbara, I would like someone who can actually service this queen the way she needs to be serviced.
Unasema orgasm lazima itambe.
Lazima ikuje. This idea of
And you said
people,
you want your orgasms every night.
No, every night tutachoka. Atulimi shamba.
How often would you like your orgasms?
You know, when life happens to you, no, I'm being very serious, Eric. When you're still near the relationship, we'll get excited.
Yes.
Let's not lie about it.
Yes.
We'll get excited, we'll get to know each other. But when kids come into the picture, when work, sometimes you just find yourself, it's not that I forget, but life happens. We will not have it every other day.
Yeah.
All I'm saying that when we make time to have it, let it count.
Are we talking about orgasms or sex? Because those are two different things. I think here Barbara is talking about sex, not orgasm, because she's saying she's busy, she may not have it every other day, but when they have time, they have it. So I don't think she's talking about an orgasm now. I think they're just talking generally about sex. And it is true. And I think I heard someone say, and I agree with that lady, I think she's an SDA pastor or somebody, and she says that in marriage there are stages. The first 3 years, it is the romantic stage when you can't stay off each other. You just want to be in each other's face. You know, even if you get a kid within the first 3 years, there is still that fire, that romantic fire. But then, whether you have kids or not, after sometimes 3 or 4 years, you know, now you're used to one another. All that fire now, it's not like it's gone, but it's diminished. This is now your person. Now it's the time now. You've learned each other. Now it's the time now for that commitment thing. So we don't have to have sex with each other for us to know we mean something to each other. And also by that time, you know, when kids come now, responsibilities also go up. The wife now has to take care of this other person who is young, who needs most of her attention. The man now, remember, there is an added human being in the house. And I'm assuming the woman is not working when she's taking time to raise the child. So now the burden falls on the man, the provision and protection. Now he has someone extra to protect, an extra mouth to feed. So yeah, I think here she's talking about sex, and it is true. So those people who are not married, you are probably at single, you're probably having more sex than a married person.
So just to paint the picture, every time you have sex with Vincent,
Yes.
you would want that you achieve the big goal.
Personally, I would. And I know that men will say, oh, I was a candidate. That is yours. But by the time the man that God is sending to me, I am not going to, it's not going to be selfish. We're not having mediocre sex. We have both to enjoy. Even if it is a quickie, daddy, you will make sure, because you already know me.
That's how are you orgasming in a quickie? Look, let's be honest, men. You know, women sometimes have this unreasonable expectations. If it is this thing of sex, if you say that for you have to orgasm every time you have sex, I know women are built different, right? There is a woman who will orgasm within the first 5 minutes, another one will orgasm within the first 10 minutes, but then there are those women who take forever. You are not going to orgasm with a quickie. You are not going to do that. You are not going to do that. And then you are that person who orgasms within the first 5 minutes. Then, yeah, for a quickie, that one will work for you. Because nobody is going there to give you a quickie for a whole hour. It's no longer a quickie. The whole point of a quickie is that it is fast. We go, we hide for 5 minutes, we do it, we come back. We go hide for 10 minutes, we do it, we come back. But for a quickie that goes for 30 minutes, that's a whole employment or remote work. It's the woman's body. Probably she doesn't know herself enough to tell you, hey, this is what makes me come quick. And she doesn't communicate. But if she's the one who communicates and says, hey, ukiniguza hapa na hapa na hapa, hey, this thing will go very fast. Do you think men want to be there digging the whole night like they are working, like they are digging a mine? We also want to do this quick. I give you your 5 minutes, umetosheka, and we move on. Not be there digging like you want to go to the center of the earth. Anyway, for a quickie, if you're a woman who comes first, then cool for you. If you're a woman who knows her body and you've communicated and your man has mastered your body, it doesn't matter. what kind of sex you do. As long as each of you know each other, you're good. But then also remember, sometimes men last longer. So if for you a quickie, let's say if a man is the guy who has to go for 5, 10, 15 minutes for him to orgasm, and this is a quickie, then he's also not going to orgasm. So this will be your quickie, not my quickie.
You already, we're in sync.
Coming is very important to
Yes,
you.
for me that you need to. It is very important. I'm not, unless I've decided today I'm pleasuring you. There are those
right,
moments.
yes.
I could be on my menses. I'm like, sweetie, we are not going down there,
yeah.
or it's just all about you. So that is acceptable. But if we want someone who is good in bed, then we also want someone who listens to what we say, because we understand there are moments you not get it. If I tell you, baby, that hurts, please do it differently. Next time, try it differently.
No, actually, immediately. Communicate immediately. Communicate immediately. And she's right. Men also have to listen. If a woman tells you, no, if you touch me here, it makes me feel a certain kind of way, wachana nayo. It does not matter whether your ex liked it or whether you watched it in some pornography and it worked. No. She's just told you, no go zone. Don't do that. Do this instead. Women, when you tell a man, don't do this, you have to tell him, do this instead. Because now if you just tell him, don't touch me there, where do you want him to touch? You say, no, my nipples are too sensitive. Wachana nazo. Go to Kilgoris. And don't be a guy of Mjengo. You have these rough hands and you're there at Kilgoris like mixing like a DJ. No. Teach your guy. If you know you are a Mjengo, you have a Mjengo guy, you have this guy who has these rough hands, tell him to use another part of his body. If he is comfortable, and that is something you also need to discuss. Remember, we all come from different cultures, different upbringings, different belief systems. There are men who will never, and I know there are women who will never give their person head. Hata kuende aje. That is a no-go zone for them. So if you have that person and then you are telling them to give you head, and they are like looking at you like you are mad. No. So what else can we do apart from that? Or how do we discuss this thing that it becomes acceptable to you? And if they decide, no, I'm not doing that, of course now you have to respect that. And then now you just have to agree to have this mediocre sex, especially if you are married. If you are just single or you're just dating and somebody decides, no, then you'll be like, bye, I'll go get somebody who can do it.